Whistle while you work.
Well, yesterday we talked about a Bloomberg exclusive, how CEOs are bracing for the Trump era. Here to talk about the future of work, maybe under a new administration, and simply just in an evolving world. Alan Guarino is back with us, vice chairman at Korn Ferry, talks with the C-suite all the time. He joins us in our Bloomberg 1130 studio. Nice to have you back with Corey and myself. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Carol. Happy holidays. Happy to be here.
The future of work, I do want to ask you, because you and I haven't had a chance to talk after the election. And I'm just curious what you think. You're talking to members of the C-suite all the time. What a Trump administration might mean for kind of our future workforce.
Sure. I think that what people are going to see is how at least initially a non-politician will attack the running of government. And so I don't think anyone has the answers other than the fact that what I'm hearing a lot is stay tuned. So we
Are
know
people
there
nervous
will be,
that you're talking to?
I think that people are nervous.
Yeah.
I think people are nervous. They don't know what this new adventure is going to be, but they know that the status quo has been disrupted. And so they can't, with a high confidence, put their finger on empirical reasons why they know it will be better or worse. It's a gut thing. But sentiment drives markets, so.
Yeah, it does.
And the sentiment right now is that everything's going to work out fine.
Stay tuned,
All
Corey.
good. It's all good. You are taking
Like an LA weather forecast. It's just throw the sun up. Sunny tomorrow, sunny the day after, sunny this week, sunny.
Yeah, coming up, more sun. You are looking at kind of where our workforce goes and what work looks like in the future. And we've seen it kind of evolve, Alan, over the last few years, whether it's people working at home, much more flexible, or flexibility in the workplace. What in particular kind of jumps out at you?
Well, we've at Korn Ferry have been doing some pretty interesting research on this, as we should be. And, you look back to the 18th century, Keynes looked at the Industrial Revolution and said, in the end, we're all dead. Guess what? We're all here. So I think the headline is there are two camps looking at the future of work. There's a camp that believes that we will have to pay people not to work. There'll be a massive disruption of the social, economic status systems that we're used to. And there are folks that look at this and say, this is just 4.0 of more than a century of transformation driven by automation and technology, and there'll be more opportunity for people.
I mean, how many jobs in the U.S. are dependent on cars and driving when you've got all the major automobile makers and minor ones, for that matter, working on self-driving cars?
Yes, there are definitely people working on self-driving cars, and self-driving cars will take up jobs from some people who drive cars, but there's a delivery truck person who put it pretty bluntly, and that person said, at least for the next several decades, the truck can get to the building, but I still need to carry it up the stairs. So
the truck that brings that truck the stuff is going to be on the highway and might not have the same driver in it.
Yes, exactly. So parts of the value chain will be replaced by automation, and other parts of the value chain are still going to require people.
Industry-wide, can you look at industries and say, okay, it's just going to be jobs in that industry, all industries will evolve, or one industry in particular, you're not going to need as many people? I mean, we do have, we'll have robots in the medical industry. We already do, but you do still need a doctor, I guess, overseeing it. I'm just curious, when you break it down into industries, if you see anything that kind of jumps out at you.
I think it's pretty ubiquitous, and healthcare is a good example. Yes, we have robots delivering pharmaceuticals on the floors of hospitals. That's actually freed up people to do other work, and obviously it's displaced people as well. The general view is that, robots are imperfect. Robots are not people. Robots can't exercise empathy, judgment, creativity, critical thinking. When you look at a call center, I call that sort of pseudo-automation, right? They're following scripts. And as a result, empathy, judgment, creativity, and critical thinking are out, and they are following a prescribed process. That's, at least today and for the foreseeable future, what automation and machine decisioning can do.
but hopefully with AI and so on and so forth, and the use of data, whatever, that they become a little bit more, I don't know, maybe not so formulaic, right? But can adapt to different situations.
They get better through machine decisioning, but
Yeah.
machines still today, the underlying science relies solely on logic, and logic is only a tiny portion of the human brain.
Yeah, we'll see in how quick those turns make it. It occurs to me that these changes that are happening with this sort of increased velocity, there for my whole life, there's been talk of more jobs, people having more jobs over the course of a career, more careers over the course of a lifetime. But that change is accelerating, and the demand for on-the-job training and even a different kind of education to lead up to that is even greater.
Corey, you are spot on. One of the things that we know is going to
That's
happen.
2 this year, Carol.
I know.
It's twice this year.
Mark the date.
Double spot on.
You waited till the end of the year, though, to get them in.
We're going to see two things, and we're going to see high unemployment in areas that automation largely displaces most of the human participation.
Such as?
Oh, that's hard to predict, but some would say day-to-day, low-skilled, highly manual work, such as perhaps fast food counters replaced by a touch screen.
Right.
Certainly in manufacturing, we've gone from, I think, 25% of the labor force deployed in manufacturing in the 70s to 10%. That's a 60% displacement.
Now, is that because we've moved everything offshore, or is that just actually...
It's both automation and offshoring, but the fact is, while that was painful and we had a period of time when people didn't have jobs, 60% of the human capital that was deployed in factories is not deployed today, compared to 1970. It was
Yes,
100
I saw the
years
election.
ago. And guess what? We're at 4.5% unemployment. So people find ways to redeploy themselves, and some don't. And that's where the empathy and the importance of government comes into this. And the other point is that we will find areas where there's such huge lack of skill. So we're going to have a polarization.
Well, we see that already, right?
Yes.
You just talk to anybody kind of in the tech community or coders or something like that. They just need more and more and more.
Right. And the other thing we remember is this is not a static, hopefully not a static economy. Granted, we're in the U.S., we're certainly not growing, and globally, other than Asia, we're certainly not growing at a bit rapid clip. But every year we create more work, the ecosystem gets bigger, there are more jobs. So while robots and automation will invade current work, there's also going to be new work that's created.
Just drama. I mean, it's just a dramatic change, and as I suggest, I mean, it's going to happen. But this is just beginning. It's the type of change we've seen in technology is now starting to happen to the rest of the economy, and it's not slowing down.
And Corey, what you said about the pace, there's no question. Carol asked in the beginning what people were feeling. What people are feeling is that the world is dragging them along, and they're not driving it any longer. It's a very precarious feeling. Carl Bass is CEO of Autodesk. He had a really cool comment. He said, basically, in the factory of the future, there'll be two workers, a dog and a person to feed the dog and a dog to bite the person if they touch the machines. I don't think that's where we're going. My motto is robots work for people, and tech is not enough.
All right, we got to run. Alan, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
I'm going to look out for Carl Bass's dog now.
You better. Alan Guarino, Vice Chairman at Korn Ferry. This is Bloomberg.